we're back with another MMMTG podcast after quite the hiatus, but you know, stuff happens. So, as always, it's me, Miles, my associates.
Hello.
My associates, hello, and...
Fernley.
Hello and Fernley. I'm going to start crediting you as hello, if that's really what you want.
Yeah, go for it.
But anyway, okay. For now on, for the rest of the podcast, we're going to refer to you as hello. So today's podcast is aptly named Modern Horizons, on the Horizon. That's right, Modern Horizons is coming soon, and we're going to go over the spoilers today, plus a little bit of other things. So if you don't care about Modern Horizons, I'm sorry. We did miss out on the War of the Spark spoilers. We did a podcast that encompassed about 50% of them, and then promptly didn't finish it.
Then we all died.
We all died and came back to life. The Thanos snap, you know. Yeah. Endgame came out, and we all got back to life, and we had to figure stuff out. So we're back now. We're going to check out the new Modern Horizons cards. Do you guys want to say anything before we get going?
I think I'm fine.
All right, hello. Is there friendly? There's no comment. So before we get into the Modern Horizons spoilers, we're going to have a few bookkeeping kind of things. Gatekeeping, wow.
Gatekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Don't tell them about the new content.
You guys are not allowed to look at this spoiler because you're not going to. It's like gatekeeping.
Wow.
Anyway, housekeeping, we're going to do some news first. The first thing I have on my little notes here is the old Mythic Edition drama. I don't think you guys have heard this one, or
no. Yeah.
I have not.
You're not. So it's kind of crazy. The Mythic Edition they did for War of the Spark, they sold it fulfilled through eBay this time, and it went bad. Like
It sounds bad.
so they basically they opened it up, and as soon as they did, within something like a minute or something like that, it had oversold by like 40,000 units. Like eBay accidentally sold too many people, and then they held a bunch of people's monies for like over a week and didn't give them the refund.
Noise.
And then they didn't fulfill some of the orders that they were supposed to. Then they're gave some people apology full foil sheets of War of the Spark, and then some people didn't get anything. It was kind of crazy, and I think they were talking about doing some kind of class action lawsuit, which I mean, hopefully doesn't have to come to that. I didn't, but that is obviously some news that big news that happened in between our previous podcast and now. I mean, probably bigger news is that War of Spark actually came out, but we're gonna talk about that in just a minute. The next thing on our little docket. All right. Yeah. Anyway, after that, a third thing on the docket.
Hello.
Is,
all right.
hello. got an interesting arsenal of words there.
I have the best words.
Anyway,
Ooh.
the next one, Signature Spellbook Gideon. They're making a new Signature Spellbook. If I remember, I'll put a little splash image of the Signature Spellbook. It's Gideon. In case anybody didn't pay attention when War of the Spark came out, Gideon's dead. Rest in peace.
Wow, you just ruined the spoiler. I was reading the book.
You're reading the book. We're going to talk about the book in just a second. I got an interesting factoid there. I didn't read the book. I heard it was actually not so good.
Big oof.
But there's some interesting facts that came out through there. But Gideon is dead, and they made a memorial. They made a memorial product. Did it come out yet? When did it come out?
Is he dead or
comes
is
out
he?
next month.
June 28th. Yeah.
Is he dead or is he back with his friends?
He's the big dead. He's back with his friends who are also the big dead. They're on Theros.
Quote unquote dead.
Quote unquote dead. Quote unquote alive is what we are.
Theros never dies.
Theros never dies.
Theros never dies.
They've got they're gonna be reprinting Gideon Jura, Martyr's Bond, Path to Exile 2 times in case you get a misprinted one.
Double path.
I'm
Which
just kidding.
path will you take?
We have Path to Exile, Rest in Peace, Shielded by Faith, True Conviction, Worship, and Blackblade Reforged. Blackblade Reforged notably having very interesting art. I believe they brought back the artist who made the original Blackblade characters, some like in Legends or whatever, so it looks really cool. But at any rate, I'll throw the sort of splash images on the screen. You guys can check them out if you're interested in the Spellbook products. If you did not check out the Jace one, it's just reprinted old cards with new arts. that sort of tell the tale of Gideon dying and his contribution to the Gatewatch story.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. You guys actually gonna buy any of this or?
I'm not sure. Maybe I'll buy one spellbook. For sure, I do want that foil sword for Commander.
Blackblade?
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of swords, we're getting some interesting swords in Modern Horizons.
Neat
Okay,
swords.
that's a
Are
commander.
Are we gonna swing into it right now, or you? Want
Actually, there's something I wish I could do the segue, but there's actually some in
You're
between.
swinging swords.
I think you're
What's
just too
going on?
excited.
Let's just skip it. I know Modern Horizons is great. I really want
We're
to
gonna
talk about
just
it.
skip the swords.
It's only 50%. We still got the rest to go. You know?
But yeah, that's just a little bit of news
Just
there for that.
disappear for the other half.
Stop.
Okay. Anyway, the next one, a little bit of news for the war story that we're talking about. The only thing that I found notable from the war book,
Egg.
egg. Oh yeah, they revealed that the egg on Nicol Bolas's horn is some kind of egg. It's called the Gem of Becoming or something, and it like ties him to his meditation realm. And they like literally, like Ugin, Narset, and Sarkin, they went to the meditation realm and they like destroyed the egg or something. And it was apparently it was made out of Ugin's skull, and Ugin was able to use that to read Bolas's mind and stay a few steps ahead of him. It was weird, all right, but more important than that, than anything else,
Egg.
they reveal.
I was right about the egg.
Okay. More important than that, Mowu, the dog. They talked about how he could go from plane to plane, because we were talking about that before.
How does that
Previous podcast. Like, how does that work?
The first dog walker.
He's not a dog walker. He's made out of rocks.
What?
He's made out of rocks.
The best part.
So like somebody asked, what is his name? Jiang Yanggu, or the Green Planeswalker from the Global Series. Somebody in the story asked him canonically, how do you take your dog from plane to plane? Because living creatures aren't supposed to be able to go throughout the multiverse. And his only like response was, he's made out of rocks. It was like, so like he's like not a dog, he's like he's enchanted rock. I don't know. That just opens up so much more confusion, but they just like totally brushed over it.
So does he just bring rocks wherever he goes?
I don't know. I don't
These
even know.
rocks contain the soul of my younger brother.
I heard that the book was actually really poorly written. People didn't like the way it was sort of explained things, so
Yeah.
I can see how.
I heard it was just there was no lead up. I heard it was just all conflict and action, and it was just like you're just thrown in there.
Didn't they make the like two different characters like canonically gay
Oh, nice.
out of nowhere? I think they made Rao gay and like somebody else. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It was just sort of like they just did weird things in midst of like a bunch of action, and then didn't have any build up for these characters, and then dropped really weird info, and you're like, what is going on? But anyway,
Welcome to the new Michael Bay movie.
welcome to the new Michael Bay movie, War of Spark.
I'm just sad that he
War
died.
at Park.
I didn't expect
He
him
died in
to
the
die.
trailer. What do you mean? You didn't expect for him to die?
Exactly. He didn't even make it in the set. He just like you just see him in the trailer. Like, oh, great, he's
Off-screen
dead.
death.
I think Mu Yang Ling,
On screen dead. Death.
Mu Yang Ling was also in the
lady?
book, but she just didn't get a card.
So she was there, but she did.
Because I think in that conversation when they were talking about Mowu being made of rocks, I think she participated in that conversation. For some reason.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Why not?
Anyway, a little bit of extra news. I know we haven't gotten into Horizon spoilers yet. A little bit of cool news for us. MMMTG. We got a new channel image. We announced it on our Instagram and on our new channel trailer, which is also news. But yeah, it should be on the screen right now. Hope you guys like it. Took like 3 hours to make. Yeah, got a little bit of a Star Wars vibe. Got some. So the images that we took are from the cool screenplay web series, The Inventor, where I am one of the marquee characters, and Mr. Fernley has a appearance. So if you're interested in the place where we got those images from, you go on screenplay on YouTube, The Inventor. I think if you type in screenplay The Inventor, it should come up. There's a playlist. It's really cool. We worked really hard on it, and I did not work really hard on speaking in that sentence.
nice.
Yeah. The other thing is our Instagram for our MMMTG.
Probably at
Two-
300.
Probably at 300 followers by the time this comes out. Compared to many Instagram pages, that's very small. Compared to our own personal Instagram pages, that's incredibly large. So we're very happy that a lot of people are following us. Thank you for interacting with our really terrible memes about Magic. It's kind of hard to keep up with them all the time, but I try my best. And we are actually on Twitter now.
Wow.
Yeah, we got 2 whole followers. We have a some game store in like New York or something, and somebody named Carmen. I don't know how they found me, but they did it. I didn't follow anybody except like 5 Magic pages and Don Cheadle, because I was like I figured I'd make the account and figure out what to do with it later, and then I came back to it and they're like 2 followers. I was like, okay, so. Yeah, if you guys want to check us out, we're on Instagram, MMMTG278 on Instagram, and MMMTG7 on Twitter. I have no idea how to make your own Twitter handle. It just gave it to me.
Nice.
Yeah, so I wanted it to be the same, but they just randomly assigned me 7, and I was like, wow, okay. So
that's good.
Nice.
what can you do? What
You're
can you
7.
do?
You're number 7.
I'm number 7. Apparently, I don't know. Either there was 7 more of them, or they just really wanted me to have that number. So, we're moving into phase 2 of the podcast. War of the Spark.
Actual stuff.
Actual stuff. War of the Spark. Sorry we missed it. It's the title I have here in my notes. Yeah. We had a little bit of a hiatus. Life happens. So, Child was born. There's probably a few children born.
Well, my niece was born.
His niece was born specifically. In case anybody was wondering, congratulations. What was your niece's name?
You see, this is why I don't remember any of those names. I all love them equally because I don't know any of their names.
Okay,
No,
a nameless child was born. Congratulations for them being uncle yet again.
Yep, that's the uncle.
Yeah, really good uncle. Don't even remember her name.
I remember the names after a week.
Okay.
Once everything's set in stone, alright.
Yeah, they might want to change that,
Yeah, they might want to change it.
Anyway.
I'll remember in a bit.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, we missed War. We're sorry about that if you guys were following along. I know a few people were actually waiting for us to do the rest of our analysis on the set. The set came out. I did say that we were going to do our post-set release analysis, and that also didn't come out.
Hey, we can
so here
still
we
do
are.
that. We can
We
still
do it
do
real
that.
quick. We figured we'd go through some of the cards that we liked, some of the decks we've been playing, sort of our experience in the pre-release. I didn't go to the pre-release, but I did do the free draft and a bunch of normal drafts on Arena, so I figured we'd just go through that real quick. I've got the War of the Spark spoiler page up in case we need to look at any cards, but I figured I'd hand the mic over to Mr. Hello and Alright, and I'd like you to tell us what's your impressions of War of the Spark.
War of the Spark, just in general, I feel like it will dictate... Right now, I feel like it's just dictating a lot of the standard, especially with Teferi, just killing control, essentially.
Oh, the new 3-mana Teferi?
Yeah.
As far as cards that I like, I freaking love that card. I've been seeing it's like the most played card right now, right?
Yeah, it's one of the most played cards
It's
right now.
insane. Like when it first came out, I was on the Arena and our good friend and associate, Mr. Peter R for Robot. I don't know if he wants us to say his real name, so we're gonna put a little pseudonym in there. He sent me a list, and I put it together, and we've been playtesting, sort of figuring out what we want to do with it, what cards are good, and what I figured out is mainly new Teferi is great. New Teferi hoses almost any kind of deck. It's low mana, good tempo play, protects you, and lets you play really smart, I guess. I don't know. There's so many interesting lines of play, and it totally hoses all interaction from the opponent. It's absolutely insane.
My favorite thing to do with Teferi is I just draw Thoughtseize when I have nothing else, or not Thoughtseize, Thought Eraser. Thought Eraser.
Your favorite thing to do with Teferi is cheat.
No, I'll plus Teferi. I'll pass a turn as soon as they draw, and if I have Duress or Thought Eraser, I just do it right after they draw.
That's good.
Yeah, so
That's
I just pretty much take away their little hope they have.
My first idea when the set came out was this really janky. I sent the list to you. Remember, it was like this really janky combo deck. It was like Jeskai, and it was like the Rao combo to win. But I also had this like Narset emergency powers combo, where I would like just wait until they draw, and then cast emergency powers on their turn to wheel my hand, get 7 cards, and make them discard all their cards and shuffle them in, and they get nothing. It was glorious. It was terrible.
Nice.
But yeah, but now I'm playing this Jeskai mid range, sort of like the Esper that you were talking about with the Teferi. But I don't know. I guess I'm not very me and Mr. Peter are not very contrarian. We don't want to play the Esper.
Well, that's just you guys. I used to play Esper cycling, and Amaket. It was great. It was horrible. It was great against tokens. I always loved playing against them. But right now, I went back to Esper, getting away from Abzan for a moment.
Yeah, in the last one, you're playing this like Abzan, just like value deck with like.
It's like Abzan Explore, but I did take out a good chunk of the Explore package. I kept the Essential Explore package in, but I used to run 4 copies of the 4-mana Explore enchantment. And then as I was playtesting, I just decided to take 2 out. I left 2 in, just for value's sake, because I did run March of Multitudes and Trostani, so just being able to get the triggers for the Explorers off those and digging through the deck deeper really did help.
Yeah, and I think you were running the Immortal Sun, right?
Yeah, I was running the Immortal Sun, Type Takers, the 4-mana Orzhov Angel.
The
Seraph of the Scales.
Seraph of the Scales.
So the deck that I built essentially is just meant for the long game, and so even if you kept board wiping too, just those creatures with the Afterlife mechanic. The Afterlife mechanic was great in that deck too, because with the enchantment out, those tokens also explored, and people didn't expect that, so it always just sometimes I get like 2/2 spirits.
I think in the last format I was playing the Seraph as well. I was trying to do Esper, but more like a hero build. Yeah. I don't think Hero's doing as well right now as it should, but I always had a lot of hope for the Immortal Sun. That's why I was trying to I guess mention it. It's like I think a lot of people thought it was gonna like dominate this format right now. It doesn't really seem like it's doing it. I think Teferi is just way more powerful. So if you're playing Immortal Sun, you really can't play Teferi, I guess. Is he playing the sideboards? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen any, but honestly, I just feel like people just want to play Planeswalkers right now. I don't think anyone really wants to go that way. Because I can easily just do the Abzan deck probably and do small upgrades, because it's still really consistent and it does what it needs to do.
Alright, so for this set, for the Planeswalkers that came out, obviously there's like 36 of them. Not just cards that you play, but it can include that. Cards you've seen as well. Which Planeswalkers are overperforming and which ones are not doing as much as they were imagined to have been doing?
So right now the Planeswalkers I'm running are the Esper colors mostly, because what I've done, at least for playtesting sake, is I have my 60 card deck and the sideboard fully sleeved, and then in a little separate area I have in the same exact sleeves all the different cards that are played in different Esper decks, so I can switch them in and out. So when I'm actually playtesting, I can just see what I like and what I don't like. I tried Finale of Glory.
Oh my god, that card is amazing.
That
was the thing when we were playing that Jeskai deck and testing it out and messing with it. Like we try to do only a few changes at a time. You want to get like really accurate data for what card's good and what card's bad. Basically, every time we came back for revisions, it was always, we need more Finale of Glory. You need more things that interact with Finale of Glory, because that card is insane. It is like super versatile, and it's amazing with the little Teferi.
Yeah.
It had instant speed, X 2/2 tokens, and like even a lot of the games go really long in this format. It's a slow format. Yeah. You can get to 12 mana pretty easily in a deck that has like 26 lands and control elements. Like I can't even count the amount of times that I've cast Finale of Glory for over 10, and it's just the funniest thing in the world. Like it's super overkill, but it's amazing to see.
Last night, that's what literally won me the game, because I swung in with a Seraph, and I got in for 4 damage, and then I casted it, and they didn't have a counterspell, so They should have Vraska contempted the angel not to take the damage, but they didn't, so they took the damage, and because they took the damage, I was able to kill them with the 5 2/2 tokens and mobilize districts.
Mobilize District. Very good.
I'm running like 3 of them.
That card is, I wasn't sure about it. I mean, obviously it was going to be good,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure whether or not people were going to be trying to push 3 colors or 4+ at this point, and that would sort of dictate whether how many copies are being run. But everyone's just like, nah, 2, 3, cut 2 or 3 colors like with a splash there, and run the district because it's good.
Yeah.
Like super insane.
I'm running 3 colors or 3 of those in the main. They're so good. I've actually killed people with them, like 5 or 6
I've
people.
lost-
That's how good the
I've
card
lost
is.
plenty of games to like you're in a control matchup,
Yeah.
whatever, and you stabilize and your opponent just like has the district and you don't have a immediate answer for it, and they'll just like smack you, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's great. But going back to it, where you have to go back to walkers at least, 'cause we actually just completely went off topic there.
Yeah, well, yeah. So saying, looking at the spoilers, what I would say, Gideon, I've been having a lot of fun with. Very powerful, super same as Mobilized District. It's really hard to interact with.
Yeah.
And he just the exile now and then permanent comes up like way more often than you'd imagine, and then it just helps you deal with stuff that you wouldn't necessarily be able to normally. Jace, I haven't seen at all. Liliana, I think a lot of people were saying that it's like so crazy. It's gonna be like in everywhere. You see it every once in a while, but I don't know. Personally, I feel like it's like totally manageable. It's just like a good mid-range threat,
Yeah.
but I think it's like it's expensive enough to at the point where it's not like ubiquitous in every black deck. Like a lot of the Esper decks won't even touch it.
I'm just running it as a one-off just to try it. It actually proves itself most of the time I play it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's powerful, but it's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, I wouldn't run more than one. I don't know. I'm just playtesting it still. It does work, so I'm just keeping it in.
going to the next one. Chandra Fire Artisan. Personally, I had put this as like not that great, sort of a weaker version of some of the older Chandras, but it's like nah. it overperforms by a long shot. Like a lot of the winning decks recently have featured like 4 of them. It's just I don't know. It plays a little different than it reads, and it's just really really good. The burn decks just destroy with it. So you draw a bunch of extra cards. If they hit it at all, you're doming them for like anywhere from 3 to 7 damage. And if you get to ult, you just kind of win that turn.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't know. It's something else. Mr. Fernley, what do you think about Chandra Fire Artisan?
Oh, yeah, you're here.
I know. whoa! That's a little bit rude, sir.
I don't know. That's hot.
Whoa! This is not a.
That's hot.
Oh, this is a Will Smith reference. Okay, we gotta make sure we're doing this appropriate, sir.
Yes.
We gotta make sure we're on the same page here. Off topic. Will Smith.
Off topic.
Aladdin came out yesterday.
Aladdin.
Is that appropriate?
Mr. McQueen.
Mr. Okay. I was gonna say something about it. Totally forgot. I'm gonna watch that movie tomorrow. It's gonna be great. Anyway,
Are you really?
Nissa, who shakes the world. Supposedly, people say this is really good. I haven't seen it. I play with it. I was testing a Sultai deck. It's alright. It's pretty powerful, but it just kind of doesn't work all the time, so I don't really know.
It's great commander.
All green cards are good.
That's an interesting take on this card.
Green is green.
Okay.
Green.
Green,
is
green. Green.
No.
Green.
No. Stop this. Not
Okay.
on my Christian server.
Just going in the order. I'm gonna skip Teo because it's Teo. He's whatever.
Teo.
Kasmina.
Teo actually sees play though.
Really? I thought it was just total.
There's
dumpster.
been like a good amount of Esper and control decks trying it out just so they can stop control from hitting them in the face.
Control from hitting them in the face.
No, my bad.
Don't touch my face.
They're not trying to stop control from casting spells. They're trying to stop control players from smacking
Don't
them.
touch me.
No, they're trying to use it against the mono red decks just to.
Okay.
lessen the
We
amount
just got
of damage.
attacked by a lacrosse ball. Thank you, ball child.
Oh, I thought that was a bird that just slammed into the window.
No, it's these children playing with a lacrosse ball
Children
unapologetically.
these days.
Anyway, if you guys were offended by that, I'm
Why-
sorry. I can't take
time
back
to
the
read.
lacrosse ball. I can't.
Somebody
I can't.
re at them.
Somebody re at the children. That's all right. Kazmina, enigmatic mentor. You know, some people were trying to say that it would go into some kind of like Super Friends thing. I haven't seen it at all.
It is in my sideboard actually.
Wow.
It
What even
actually-
is the Super Friends?
It actually performs really well. I actually
Yeah.
like it.
I playing against it unlimited. It's like super annoying to play against. It's like the 4 mana, two 2/2s, and you get a loot twice is already really good. And the fact that it kind of bubbles them is I don't know. It's more like annoying. It's the kind of thing where it's not gonna like end any games or anything like that. It just kind of slows your opponent down enough that you could get the advantage.
Yeah,
Hello.
that's pretty much what it's been doing for me. It's been slowing down the game, putting blockers on the board, and letting me cycle through the deck a little bit quicker. So it's just been good performing, protecting my planeswalkers. I was playing against someone, and they had 2 Vrasis intents, but they couldn't use them both in the same turn.
Nice. That's good. What do they hit? What is the go-to?
Probably
Probably the real target.
I don't remember which one they hit. I think they actually hit Casmina just because they didn't want to deal with it anymore.
That's good. That's serving its purpose, taking the bullet.
Best purpose it served was when I was playing against Esper Control deck, and they had Elder Spells in their deck, and then I hit him with Thief. I took an Elder Spell, they played their Teferi, and I had Casmina and my Teferi out.
I haven't seen the Elder Spell all too much. I don't feel that it doesn't really come up.
It's been coming up more and more if you look at the tournaments.
Hmm.
So, for example, one of the last Esper decks, I believe, in the SCG tour, or one of the competitions,
They had it in the sideboard?
they had it in the main 3 copies,
Really?
and they got second. It lost to a Super Friends deck, too.
When you don't have enough copies.
Any spell is worthless if you don't draw it. I didn't see that footage, so who knows?
I feel like everybody plays Planeswalkers, though.
That's why.
Come on.
Some of the mono red decks don't actually run Chandra. Some of the ones in that same tournament where that Chandra one won didn't
play
even
her.
run one copy inside or something.
In all
They still
honesty,
do well. It's just how you decide to build it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, like, look at the draw.
There's still like a couple of people where it's like they don't have as much confidence in Chandra.
I like her.
She's pretty nice.
Pretty good.
It's pretty hot.
What is this? I can't tell if there's like something really weird going on, or if you're just trying to like say Will Smith reference. But
Just let it happen.
well, I think we should just roll forward a little bit, try and cut through this because we do want time for the Modern Horizon spoilers. We do have next Davriel, Rogue Shadow Mace. I don't even know what that was.
Screeching.
I've only seen one kind of deck. It was like this weird rack style deck, and it's like terrible. I don't know. I played against it on Arena like 6 times, and I beat it every time. It's just the rack doesn't work when it costs 3 mana.
Yeah.
It just
And
doesn't.
it's on a plane.
I tried it in my
Especially-
sideboard.
Especially when you can attack it. Imagine if you could attack the rack.
You can attack it, you can burn it.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't. I've never seen it work. The next one is Sarkin the Masterless.
Sir Can.
He's I'm not sure how many lists he's come up in like the tournament play, but I've seen him on Arena a lot, and he kicks my booty every time.
Like I said, SCG, that tournament, just got Super Friends.
Okay.
Sarkit. There's 2 Super Friend decks that got first and third. That were just Jeskai.
Sarkin?
So both
He's
of them yeah.
insane. I think he's probably one of the more powerful planeswalkers. In fact, I think me and Hello both spec'd on him. I have like 17 copies, hopefully. I should just check on the price. Did the price go up after that tournament?
I don't know, but you know what? You just bought 17. For some reason, I opened 10 for some ungodly reason.
Oh, you just opened them.
I just opened
That's not
10.
even. That's an unintentional spec. That's a.
Every pre-release I did, every pre-release kit I opened had a Sarkin. Whether or not I could play it or not didn't matter. I always just had one.
It's fine, we'll open more in the 6
as of time of recording, market price $3. Boom.
Hey.
That's That's like
sick,
3 times
bro.
as much as I paid.
That's
cost
hot.
per unit
That's
for that.
hot.
Wow.
That's hot.
That's hot.
Oh,
Now I'm confused. What's
speaking of that though,
So
it's like
good, man.
I know I have a stack of Sarkans and I did have a good amount of Chandras. I don't remember where I put them, so that kind of irritates me.
That's not
a
very good
door
at all.
opener.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to sell them for a lot of money one day.
$2.
Wow.
I mean, I got them at a low cost because they were like $1.50 each when I had bought them, but I got a weird eBay deal that allowed me to get $10 off a purchase of 30 or more. So I brought the cost down to like $1.20 per card. I don't know.
Very cool, Kanye.
Pretty
Hopefully, if it gets up to like $5 each, I can just unload it and make a little bit of money. That's what specking is all about.
No, we need to unload 6 boxes.
That's true. We have an entire case right now ready to be open for videos, but alas, we've been a little bit busy. So hopefully we'll get those videos out soon. I think this podcast will definitely come out before that, but I don't know. I said that's a banned word. We should probably try and rush along the Planeswalker so we can start actually talking about Modern Horizons. The other one is Vivian, Champion of the Wilds. You see it every once in a while. I don't think it's actually that crazy as people imagine it would be. But,
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's fine. There's not like a lot of background noise. I apologize to anybody listening. Can't really control the outside environment. We don't have a studio right now. We're just sort of sitting at the old table. But if you have made it this far, thank you. And we're going to keep going. We have the Wanderer. You see that every once in a while, but it's not really ubiquitous. Some of the Super Friends will jam it in there. But
I know people are just trying to run it just with the command, the Dread Horde. I believe that's the one where you can bring back everything from your graveyard.
I saw that combo. I don't even know if that's really good, though.
I mean, if you get it, yeah, you win.
Kind of nombos with the Wanderer, though.
No, it works because you.
No,
don't
I'm saying
take-
like you exile the creatures with her,
Yeah.
and then you bring back creatures from the graveyard.
Yeah, but it's like. I don't know.
I've been seeing her in the feather decks for some reason.
Really?
I don't know.
What do you hit?
What do I hit?
Yeah, like, what do you. Does your minus matter, or do you just use
I think
it
it's just to
for,
protect the cards that you're like.
like bolts?
Yeah, because somebody can like instant speed kill your whatever you're trying to target, like Legionnaire or whatever, and you just the Wanderer to protect it.
So you just. Oh, yeah, because you just hose all their burn spells, essentially.
I saw somebody running Teferi for that same reason. It was like a feather deck / blue for Teferi to try and stop them from interrupting Feather's tempo plays, I guess.
Yeah.
It was all right. The next Planeswalker we have, Narset, Parter of Veils. Insane.
Who would've
Some
thought?
people try to make. I saw an article. Somebody tried to claim that it's like one of the best Planeswalkers in the Standard. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but it's definitely powerful.
Yeah, it's good.
Hosing your opponents from being able to draw cards.
Stops Nexus a little bit.
How so?
The whole point is they want to draw cards just to keep finding Nexus.
I mean, that's every deck.
That's every
Because
deck.
they use Search for Azcanta, right?
They have search, but they do have like a good amount of draw card events. Or not.
They hold parties for drawing cards.
They do have like a good.
They do
amount.
they do charades. And
That's what
Yeah,
it feels like playing
exactly.
against Nexus. It's just like, alright, I guess
Like,
I'll wait.
come to my Nexus event, guys. We're gonna draw some cards. We're gonna do some original arts.
They have a good ways of drawing cards. I know if for their expansion explosions, they'll pretty much just draw one.
Ah, yeah, that's
Yes.
true. You
Yeah.
still gotta hit that sweet damage.
Yeah, they get advantage, but they only get one card or just nothing if they do it on their turn.
That's a good point.
And if you have to ferry out, just so good.
So, we're gonna skip the next few Planeswalkers. As for the God Eternals, I think there's literally only 2 of them that matter. The God Eternal Kefnet is like dominating that cycle, and Ketro sees a little bit of play. We don't really have too much time to be talking about those. We're gonna look at the finales real quick. Finale of Glory, overperforming. Any of you guys want to talk about any of the other four? Okay.
Promise is just good. I think people are just trying in modern right now for the Phoenix deck. Besides that, finale, the Devastation one, that one is also a good one. I don't think anyone's actually topped or performed with it.
I just wanted an egg.
He just wanted an egg.
With
that, we'll go down a little bit.
I want an egg artifact.
I can't help you, but
you just want to do
Command's the end game. I've had a lot of fun with. It's very powerful. I'm just kind of scrolling through quickly because we do need to start talking about Modern Horizons. I think there's a few more important planeswalkers down at the bottom here.
Yep.
Obviously, Nicol Bolas, Dragon God.
Nicole.
Mr. Egg Boy himself.
Eggman.
If you wanted an egg card, there it is. Absolutely insane. Grixis, at least in the beginning of the format, was like dominating, at least on Arena, from what I've seen, just everywhere. These people grinding using Nicol Bolas and different iterations of that deck, and it's absolutely insane. Really hard to deal with when it gets out. We'll probably
just play Immortal Sun.
Probably just play Immortal Sun or Teferi.
Or just become immortal. Don't die. Stop that.
Okay. We have Domri, Anarcha Bolas. Sucks. Ajani. Not really doing anything. Rao, I thought that combo would be sort of everywhere, but it seems like a lot of people are kind of hesitant to focus on that.
I think it's just the fact of everyone's playing Little Teferi, and the way that combo works is that you need to be doing a little bit of the interactions at instant speed. So it's like, as long as Teferi is... You need to kill Teferi just so you can essentially combo off.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that.
All right.
We have Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord. I don't know. I imagine he would be very useful, but I haven't seen him at all.
There are decks that are based around him. I know there's Orzhov Knights, and they use Sorin. I know that there's also some Esper builds, I think, that run him.
Okay.
Some Esper heroes run him just so they can recur some of the creatures in the deck.
Especially, get Hero back, give everything lifelink, get a lot of value out of that.
Yeah.
We have Tameo. That makes the Turbo Fog deck go. I've seen that in there, and it's like, with the Nexus of Fate, it's like insane, because like, you just shuffles everything back. You can tutor for the Nexus with it. You can return the cards you want back to your from your graveyard to your hand. It's just, it was built for that, and it's like kind of dumb.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting. I like how for this one, Fernley didn't say that's hot. You don't like the you don't like the Moonfolk. You only like red planeswalkers.
Well, she's not on fire.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She doesn't have flaming hair.
Yeah, I think that's most of the notable cards there.
Saheeli.
Saheeli
Y.
is pretty good.
I'm sad about Eugene. Don't mention it.
What's wrong with Ugin?
He's just not as good as 8-mana Ugin.
Well, the other one was 8 mana. This is different. This one sees a lot of play too. It's really powerful.
I prefer the 8-mana version.
Yeah, I mean, everybody prefers the $80 Planeswalker, but this one is a good imitation. It makes 2/2s, it draws cards, destroys stuff.
And it makes me sad.
Karn single-handedly made Microsense Lattice like $50. Well, not too bad. I don't see it too much in the actual standard, but what could you do? With that, I think we could 39 minutes in, I think we can sew up War of the Spark, officially say, boom.
It was good.
It was good. If you want to see more of it, we're going to be doing 6 box openings, so look out for that. And we can now move on to the namesake of this podcast episode. Modern Horizons. On the horizon.
It only took 40 minutes.
Only took 40 minutes.
You see, that was it. It was on the horizon, so we had to wait. You had to wait 40 minutes.
What if we just teased it for the whole podcast and then ended, so it's permanently on the horizon? Yeah, that'd be terrible. Thank you guys for checking out our War of the Spark analysis on this On Horizons podcast. I think when it starts, I'll put a little skip thing, like
if you want
skip to minute 40 exactly, because I think that's where we're at. If you want to hear Modern Horizons and not War of the Spark, I'll put that on the screen.
If you're here just chilling, leave a comment down below.
Yeah. So if you've been listening the whole time, in about 10 seconds, I'm gonna say it again for anybody that skipped.
Wow.
4, 3, 2, 1. Modern Horizons on the horizon. Here we are talking about it 40 minutes later. Okay, so we have the spoiler up. Do you guys want to go just in order, or do you just want to start talking about cards that you like?
It's up
Cards
to
we
you.
like.
Okay.
I'd say cards we like because I feel like that's how we get through this.
Oh.
So anything green, obviously everything.
Since I didn't say
Anything
anything else,
and
we'll just at
everything
Fernie's
green.
behest. We will start with
green,
the green.
green,
We will start with the green cards. I'll
Bears,
actually just,
bears.
there is a bear theme in this set. Very interesting bear theme. So I'll just click on the green, sort by green. You can do that. We're on a. For anybody listening's information, we're not affiliated, but we do really like the website Mythic Spoiler. So we check out all of our spoilers there. It has really good sorting and layout and translations. So that's where we're going to be at. You can follow along with us if you like. The first card on their sorting for green. Flourishing. Unbound flourishing.
Yay.
Fernie, you want to read this one?
X.
The XXX Tentacion.
Yes.
Wow, we
So-
derailed immediately. Yeah.
Whenever you cast a permanent spell with a mana cost containing X, double the X. Double the value of X. Sorry, exact wording. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell or activate an ability, if that spell's mana cost or that ability's activation cost contains an X, copy that spell or ability. You may choose new targets for the copy.
So basically, if they're an enchantment, any spell you cast with X is going to be double. If it's a
Yep.
permanent, it'll get double whatever X was. If it's a spell, you copy it, essentially doubling it. Pretty cool. I mean, so we should probably, before we dive straight in, preface this is Modern Horizons. If you don't know anything about it, it's a new set coming out. It's going straight to Modern. So this is going to be acting like a standard set. It's going to be released. It's going to have a pre-release on June 8th and 9th. The real release on June 14th. It's going to release and look just like a normal set, but it's going to be releasing cards directly into Modern, skipping standard. So this Unbound Flourishing, very cool card. It's going to go straight into Modern, so don't expect to play this in standard. Do expect to see this in Commander all the time, every time. Will it see play in Modern? Mr.
Maybe.
Angel, maybe.
And maybe what was it?
It's green.
What Hardened Scales? Hardened Scales might try it. I know in Commander.
What X spell does Hardened Spells play? Hardened Scales, Hardened Spells. That's what
does
they should call it.
Hardened Spells.
Hardened Spells.
Walking Ballista, Hanger Backwalker.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Makes sense.
So doubles the X, and then if Hardened Scales, it also adds another counter on top of that.
Doubles the
Yeah,
eggs.
understandable.
Stop. But
Eggs?
in terms of Commander, I was really I was looking at building Wart the Raid Mother before this came out, and then I saw that this was coming out from the new set, so now I actually have to build it.
Well, we will. Hopefully, we'll see that on the Commander gameplay videos we'll be doing.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Win.
We'll look out for that. Moving on to the next card. Little Snacky Snack. Hex Drinker. This card looks like. I mean, obviously, it's going to go straight into the mono green Stompy, but does it go into mid range decks? Who knows? It's Hello. Would you like to read this one?
Hang on, let me actually click on it.
Oh
so I can
my
read it.
god, here you go.
I already have it. Put it
Okay,
in.
that's this.
Hex Drinker. 1 green. It's a creature snake. Ooh. And it has a level up mechanic. And it is I should say that it starts as a 2/1. So level up cost is just 1 of any mana. Once it hits level 3, you can activate the level up mechanic by paying 1 mana and then activating it at sorcery speed. It's kind of important, kind of sad. So you put so you put 3 counters. So once it gets to 3 to 7 counters, it becomes a 4/4, and it has protection from instants. Once it hits the 8th counter, it has protection from everything. It's just a 6/6.
That's pretty good. 1 mana plus 8 more mana. You get a 6/6 Progenitus. It's pretty cool. I think the Stompy decks will definitely want this because 1 green 2/1 is already on curve, and then pumping 3 additional mana to give it relevant protection and then make it a 4/4 is like really insane. I don't think there's too many other places this would go, but we'll just have to see how powerful it is.
You
It's a
have
mythic.
green, play it.
It'll be great in the late game. You just dump all the mana into there because there's something else to be doing.
Who needs an elfish mystic?
Sure.
You got that.
Surely this sees playing Commander, right? It's like it doesn't specifically combo with anything,
No, but it's
but
annoying.
it's just really good.
I
Yeah.
mean, it depends what you really want to do in Commander.
Because it's like a Progenitus, it doesn't a Progenitus impression with only 1 color, so you don't have to run 5 colors to run it. I don't know. Personally, I would try it out.
Well, you can. Yeah, go ahead if you want.
Better
Like, I
than
need
an
your
elvish
permission.
Mystic, all right?
Like, okay, you can try it out if you want.
You don't want his permission. You
I
want
think
my
it's-
permission. I'm the expert on green.
You're the
If
egg.
it's
Would you-
green, it's good.
You're
well,
the
you run it in Commander.
Yes,
Wow, what deck?
every day.
Every green deck.
Anything that contains an inkling of green, it's in there.
a Grinkling.
A green card.
Anyway, going on to the next one. I don't know how to say this exactly. Ayula's influence. Ayula.
Maybe it's Eyeless.
I'm gonna say
you skip the U.
Ayula.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
So it's basically a seismic assault, but for bears. It's got a weird picture of a bear there. Green. Enchantment. Discard a land card. Create a 2/2 green bear token. You can do that at instant speed at will. You just discard a land wherever you want. Make a 2/2 bear. Why do they do this? Who knows?
Why
I like
not?
It's good. It's funny, but it's like what? Like
Just-
seismic
you just
assault.
have to bear with it.
Oh my god. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. I wanted to keep going, but the next card is actually a bear. So,
Actual bear.
seeing as you seem to love bears so much, Friendly, why don't you read this one?
Ayula, queen among bears. She's queen. Legendary creature, bear, obviously.
No way.
She's got like a weird thing going on around her head. She's got like a...
You mean a crown?
Is it a crown or is it a bunch of horns sticking out of her neck?
Who knows?
I'm pretty sure it's a crown because it says she was coronated under the mightiest pine.
Dude, that looks so weird. Alright, anyways. Whenever another bear enters the battlefield under your control, you can choose one. Put 2 1/1 counters on target bear. Or, target bear you control fights target creature you don't control. Fight. Kiss,
I mean,
kiss.
if you're somehow playing an actual bear deck, this is insane. But you have to be playing bears.
Yeah, just you wait, limited. Someone's gonna open
Well,
this.
limited, sure. You got this other rare and this rare, and there's a bunch of common bears that are really good. But it's like, what?
She is
bear
also
tribal.
a bear.
Bear beatdown.
Sure.
2 mana.
Hey, you know what? It can be a little unbearable, but we'll get through it.
I hate you guys.
Double on.
Okay.
Double on them.
Bear with me.
Okay, we're going to the next one. I don't want to. No more puns. Deep Forest Hermit. This is a 3 green for a 1/1 with Vanishing 3. So, if it was just that'd be pretty terrible. Vanishing, if you don't know, just means this card will go away in 3 turns. The next ability says, when Deep Forest Hermit enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens, and it gives your squirrel creatures +1/+1. So it makes 4 2/2s, and they become 1/1s in 3 turns. That's pretty good. It's this is like digging on an older card, right?
Yeah, the deranged hermit.
Deranged Hermit. Which one? That one had Morph, I think, right?
I'm not sure, but I do know that it's almost the same exact card.
Yeah.
But it just sits there. I think I don't think it leaves play. I don't think it doesn't have the.
Yeah, that one. I think you didn't get the. Oh, it had Echo.
Oh, okay.
You have
that's
to
what
pay
it
the
was.
Echo cost, otherwise it goes away. So the other one, it had Echo. This one has Vanishing. Otherwise, this is the exact same card. It's pretty cool. The next rare card from green is the Force of Vigor. Seeing as we're doing this kind of out of order, and we're doing the green cards, I should say there's a new cycle of Force cards, such as, Force of Will was this crazy card from, I think, Alliances or something, where it has 5 mana to counter a spell, or instead, you could exile a card from your hand and pay a life, and you get to counter a spell. Instant speed, no mana cost. Pretty cool. They're making a new cycle of them going straight to modern. This one is Force of Vigor. So it reads, 2 green for an instant. Destroy up to 2 target artifacts or enchantments. But it has an alternative cost that says if it's not your turn, you may exile a green card from your hand rather than paying the spell's mana cost. So you can just pay instant speed 4 mana, destroy 2 artifacts or enchantments, or if you really need to, on your opponent's turn, you can exile another green card, play this, and get it for no mana.
Should probably say that all of these, for the 4 cycle, all of them have to be played, or can be played for free almost on your opponent's turn only.
I think all of them are like that.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a balancing thing. But I mean, like, what do you think about this one?
I like it. I like it better than the other ones in the set, honestly. I feel like this one's just more versatile.
Really? Well, I mean, we haven't discussed the other ones yet, so it's kind of hard to give a comparison
Well, I mean,
about them. But
right now, yeah.
personally, yes, it is very powerful. For Modern, there are a lot of relevant artifacts and enchantments that you might want to blow up, especially when they don't think you can. So, we will see. I mean, these cards haven't come out yet, and when it comes out, there'll be a lot to see. For Commander, I'm sure this is going to be see play a ton. Commander is even more relevant to blow stuff up when nobody thinks you're going to.
Yeah, turn 1, you just blow up both. So it's like if someone has Soul Ring. And then,
I don't know if you use Soul Ring on this.
Hey, but you know, it's just hilarious because you just make an enemy for the rest of the game. You just blow up 2 people's Soul Rings.
What's kind of interesting to note, right, is that Force of Will is card disadvantage because you're paying 2 cards for their 1, and all the other ones are almost kind of like that, except for maybe the black one. But this one, you get to destroy 2 artifacts or enchantments. So potentially, if you're doing this, timing it right, you could kind of get better card equity. So that's another argument as to why this one might be better than some of the other ones. But you have to see. What do you think, Fernie? A little bit tired?
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at more spoilers. There's a frog that has a fog effect on it.
That's a reprint, buddy.
Why?
It's a spore frog.
Why?
It's a fog on a creature.
It's good.
I think it's the first time it's coming into Modern,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
Stop it.
C's playing. I'm not sure what it does.
Get some
C's
help.
playing. I know C's playing Commander.
Oh, doesn't everything, huh?
Everything gets.
The next card in their sort of sorting is a Genesis. It's a reprint. I don't think it was in Modern before.
Everything in the set has never been in Modern except for the 5 lands that we'll get to later.
Those are brand new, right?
The basic lands, the special
true.
lands.
Okay.
We'll do that
So
later.
this is Genesis. They're bringing Genesis to Modern. It's a 5 mana 4/4 incarnation, and it says at the beginning of your upkeep, if it's in your graveyard, you can pay 3 mana. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty good. I don't know what deck specifically in Modern would want to abuse this, but I'm sure plenty of them will.
In Modern, I feel like it's going to be a little slow because the format right now is just really fast paced.
Yeah, but I mean, there has to be some relevant creature you want to bring back, right? It's like a free spell.
Just like
someone get in there.
Maybe a couple, but I'm not really too familiar with decks that would want to do that. So it's kind of it's there though. It's there.
At the very least, this is a good reprint for Commander. I'm not sure how much it costed before, but it's definitely not going to be worth anything now.
Yeah.
The next card on the docket is Glacial Revelation. It's not really a very good card, but it's important to note because it is the revelation that there's the snow mechanic in this set. It says reveal the top 6 cards of your library. You may put any number of snow permanent cards among them into your hand, put the rest into your graveyard. That is right. Wizards of the Coast brought back snow because everybody wanted it for some reason.
I don't know why they brought back the snow flavor for the spring.
That's a good point.
It's like we're about to be in summer. It's like you're bringing snow.
That is kind of weird.
It's kind of a flavor fail, honestly.
But a little bit. But I mean, it's kind of interesting to see it. I'm not sure if that's actually going to do too much in Modern. Isn't Scred the only deck that...
Scred Red is the only deck that really has been focusing on it, but because there's not... All the old snow cards, or snow permanent cards that really care about snow permanents, they're just horrible. A lot of them are just bad.
Hopefully, it'll be less bad now.
From what we've seen so far in the set, looks like there's a couple good ones, but we have to see the rest of the set. Then we don't... From there, maybe something can come up. I'd say if this set doesn't bring enough snow permanents, maybe the next set that has snow mechanics could do something in Modern.
Well, yeah, because they're gonna do more Modern Horizon sets, right? I think they're gonna do or other similar releases.
We don't know because the problem is like we have to see what this does to the Modern format itself, and then after that, it's like what cards are going to be left to put into Modern.
True.
That haven't been put in there to begin with. I mean, there's probably a couple, but I feel like it'll get to the point where they're going to have to put in all just newer cards.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess they're still at this point experimenting with how they want to release stuff because they're doing the mythic editions and things like that. So
Yeah.
in the next few years, I feel we're going to see a solidification of their product lines, but at least for now, they're doing a lot of random stuff. So
Yeah, I don't think they'll do many Modern Horizons. I think they'll do like maybe one or two more, honestly, because I don't
do you
think
think this product won't last?
I don't think they can come up with enough cards to keep doing
I mean, they
this.
come up with cards every year.
Yeah, but it's like you're just pushing it.
I
Again,
guess.
because like half of this set alone is just reprints, I believe. So
They can just reprint. That's what they did with the Modern Masters, but
True.
I guess people didn't like that so much. Switch to the iconic and then the eternal.
if they do keep trying to implement the Modern Horizons formula, I feel like they'll just get to the point where they just stop reprinting stuff that wasn't in Modern already, and just reprint cards that are already legal in Modern. So it'll just be a mix of new cards and reprints of Modern staples.
Do you think they're gonna try and jam some of these cards into Commander products soon?
Maybe.
I mean,
The stuff from this set?
yeah, like this particular one.
Probably not. I'll probably wait until a year or two, I think. I'd say
I
2
feel like
years.
the prices on some of these new cards, like I have no idea where they're gonna be. Because there's like what $200, $250 for this box. The EV, at least for pre-order, is like all out of whack.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like some of these cards are gonna be really overcosted for what they are.
It's always overcosted to begin with. The question is how the market is gonna take in all this product. I don't know if you want to wait until we get to the juiciest part of why this product is so expensive.
The juiciest.
It's just
Well, how about we finish green?
all right.
And then and then we'll stop sorting by color, and we'll go by your terms, juicy.
Yeah.
So the only other notable things in green is this card called Tempered Sliver. Why is that notable?
Because it's a
Because
sliver.
it's a sliver.
The only thing that's important. Is
Yeah,
the
those
sliver.
slivers are back.
The green doesn't matter. It's just a sliver.
Wow,
Just
okay.
jam it.
I like your opinions on these cards. It's like nothing matters unless it's green, unless it's a sliver which is above green. Then that supersedes the green.
Dragons are above slivers.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So
one
An
of these-
egg is above dragon.
So that's true. It's above.
So my question is then, what's the highest? What's the top? What's the very top? grade?
What's the creme de la top?
Yeah.
Creme de la top. The creme de la top.
Hydras, obviously.
I just
Like, can we go through that
everything.
hierarchy real quick? So green cards, slivers, dragons, egg, Hydra.
Yes.
Okay, thank
All
you
right,
for
so-
that. And the Hydra is the creme de la
Creme de la top.
top.
You need to make a Hydra deck now.
I think for the future podcast when we're doing card evaluations, we need to make a Fernley scale. So like we'll have a normal scale on how cards are rated, and then we'll have a Fernley scale on like how close it is to one of those categories.
Yeah.
And if it isn't one of those, then it's 0. It's always 0.
Zero.
It's a card is terrible if it's not one of those. I can't get over the creme de la top. Yeah, I think we're gonna start sorting by juicy. So we're gonna hit the old refresh. The first card on the interesting.
I mean, we could
On
go.
the interesting. The first card on the spoiler page that is interesting would be Sarah the Benevolent. However, we have already talked about this card on our previous podcast, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But for anybody who doesn't want to go back, it's two white, so 4 mana for a legendary planeswalker. 4 loyalty. It says +2. Creatures you control with flying get +1/+1 until end of turn. So for as long as she's doing that ability, she's like a favorable wins. She has -3. Create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. That would be really funny if your name was still Angel and not Hello. But seeing as that's anyway. So if she immediately comes down and makes a 4/4. If you want her to, she pluses twice to make more of them, so she's really good, and she turns them into 5/5. So very powerful. And she has an ultimate that's only at 6 that says you get an emblem with if you control a creature, damage that reduces your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. So she gives you a permanent worship if you get to that point. Notably, she can ult the turn after, which is kind of insane. I'm not sure you'd want to do that too many times though. Is she going to see play in Modern? Probably. Is she going to see playing Commander? Absolutely going to dominate a lot of Commander games. What do you guys think about this card?
She makes angels, and then she gives them all BMWs.
Oh my god.
It's a good card. It's a good flavor card.
That's meta. Yeah, that is you're right. That is a good flavor card. But, geez, for you got all kinds of zingers today, huh?
It's our day
You
back, man.
see, he was quiet because this is his moment. Man.
He was saying nothing. He was coming up with all these stupid lines. I want to.
I got a whole list underneath the tables, an entire list.
It's like
It's like terrible phrasing.
you only could hear us, but in the corner was just Fernley with a notepad, just jotting down and just
God.
going through, just trying to figure out what he wants to say.
Yep.
Okay, so the next card is arguably one of the most anticipated cards of the whole set. Urza, Lord High Artificer. This is the first Black Border Urza card.
Give me that border.
The Black Border Urza card that they've done. They did have one Urza card in an
He
unset.
found his body.
He did find. I think this is in the past.
Yeah.
So Urza, Lord High Artificer, 2 blue for a 1/4. Legendary creature, human artificer. When Urza, Lord High Artificer, enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token. It's a
There's a lot of
mouthful.
words.
With this creature, gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. His second ability, it says tap an untapped artifact you control, add blue. And then, a final ability, 5, shuffle your library, then exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. So, you've got the minus from Karn. You've got tap an untapped artifact you control blue. What card is that? That's some other card, right?
It's called the land.
Oh my god. I mean, what? He's got a very interesting mana ability.
It's an island.
The last ability he has is you get to play 1 activation of Mind's Desire just whenever you have the mana. So you make artifacts make mana, mana makes free cards. Hopefully artifacts, and the cycle continues. Very powerful.
It's a crazy card. It for sure. If you have a bunch of artifacts, you can probably just combo off with Paradox Engine in play.
Oof.
Ooh, you can untap everything.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. I think it's pre-ordering for like
I'm looking
a
at
lot
it.
of money.
It's $50 right now.
$50. Like, this is like, there's so much potential that I can't even think immediately. Like, you would play this in
You just
what is that deck that plays all the Arcbound stuff in Modern?
Arcbound. Oh, Affinity.
Affinity. You'd probably play this in Affinity, right? All your stuff makes mana, and you could just end step, just start playing cards for free. Or that wasn't work on end step because you're still timing restricted.
Yeah, I'm assuming so because it does say until end of turn.
But I mean, like, this is something that makes you a giant creature, turns all your creatures' abilities to give them tap for mana, and then gives you free card advantage. Like, you can just start using him to get free spells.
But
Like, it's insane.
I feel like Affinity though wouldn't want this because it just wants to win the game by turn 3 already.
Well, I mean, surely there are games where they want to sideboard into a slower plan, right?
I haven't played Affinity enough to look at
Like when they bring in it's Etch Champion is usually when they're trying to go slower, right?
When was the last time? I haven't even seen an Etch Champion. In
When all
forever.
else fails, just flip your deck and call it a day. I play
All else
everything.
fails. We're not talking about Urza. Just flip your deck. But he's definitely gonna see a lot of play in Commander for sure. Like, some people were trying to say that this is more of a Commander Masters than a Modern Horizons. Because it does do a lot of stuff. that Commander likes, and a lot of these cards aren't actually probably going to go into Modern. So, Commander Masters.
Not everything stays where it's supposed to.
It sounded kind of wise, but it meant nothing. The next card that we have on the juicy scale, i.e., reading an order on the page. Plague Engineer. Angel, you want to read this one?
He's got a reverse vacuum.
So
he's got a reverse vacuum.
I couldn't even.
And stuck.
I
It's
see.
just blowing it all
A
out.
leaf blower. He's got a leaf blower filled with plague. Anyway, Angel, if you want to read this one.
Alright then. So, to play it, 2 colorless, 1 black, 3 CMC total. It's a creature carrier.
An interesting creature type.
Career.
Death Touch. As it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type your opponents control get -1/-1. And its base stats, 2/2.
So it's a engineered plague on a 2/2 creature with that touch.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Kill all goblins.
I don't think that's super relevant in Modern.
You try it in humans and you hope for the best.
Some people are saying you might put this in humans because a lot of the humans aren't going to die to it, but you're at least going to hamper them a little bit and block. Maybe if you can hold off and then play multiples of these, maybe. But I mean, it's tech versus anything that's like super tribal. But it's not. And Modern is probably not really going to kill anything. It's yet to be seen if this is actually good. Because like the decks that are like dedicated to tokens in Commander and Modern are never going to play like one singular creature type. You're going to play a token deck or you're going to play a human deck. You're not going to play like a human token deck. It doesn't really make sense. But I'm sure you'll see a little bit of play. You'll see it every once in a while. You'll probably lose to it. I'll probably lose to it every once in a while. But I mean, at least this is our initial assessment. So in the interest of time, we're going to move to the next card. Seasoned Pyromancer. This is a direct sequel to an old Modern classic, Young Pyromancer. 1 red for a 2/2 creature human shaman. When Seasoned Pyromancer enters the battlefield, discard 2 cards, then draw 2 cards. For each non-land card discarded this way, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. So you get a loot 2, and if you choose to discard non-lands, you get some 1/1s. And it also has a secondary ability, 3 red, exile Seasoned Pyromancer from your graveyard, create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. So, if in the course of this game it dies, you can just choose to cash it in for 2 1/1s late in the game. A little bit of late game equity. I think it's pretty powerful. I don't think it's any better than the original, but it's surely to see some play, right?
I'd say the original is better. But
Yeah.
this one's nicer because it has like a filter on it.
Phoenix would still love it because it's still you get the loots.
This is actually is pretty good in Phoenix, right? You
Yeah.
drop it. But I mean, on turn 3, shouldn't you already be trying to get Phoenix out of your graveyard?
Yes. That's why. Well, worst comes
It's
to worst.
good if you're losing.
It's good if you're losing.
Worst comes to worst, turn 3, you just cast a surgical or something, gut shot. You do Manamorphose, and then you just play this. So you have 3 spells, and then if you got 2 Phoenixes in hand, you just threw them into the graveyard.
Well, I mean, does this see play anywhere else? It just seems kinda-
Some people said dredge, maybe. I don't
You're
think.
gonna
I don't
dredge?
think so.
I don't know about that.
Well, think about it, because you just discard the cards, all the dredge cards.
I don't know. I think it's.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's gonna like.
Because you can discard the dredge cards and then you draw afterwards, so you just dredge as soon as
Okay.
yeah,
There
as
it
soon
is.
as you discard the cards.
All right, so this has a little bit of potential. Its mana cost is a little bit restrictive, but Modern has a lot of good mana options. So, like any other card here, we will see.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going. A lot of these cards we want to talk about, we don't really have like super the amount of time. I think we'll, at least for a little bit, continue talking in order. We have Ranger Captain of Eos. It's sort of like a Ranger of Eos miniature version, bigger miniature version. Kind of weird. 1 white for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you search your library for a creature card, CMC 1 or less, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. You can sacrifice it to your opponent's can't cast non-creature spells this turn. The Ranger of Eos, let's see play in, was that a combo deck or something?
It wasn't I think it was Soul Sisters.
Okay. I'm not sure you would play this one in the same deck.
You wouldn't play this on the same deck, but you'd run it in humans. Just look at that creature type.
Oh, it is a human. So you would run it. You gotta go grab your. What is the human that gets really big? The 1/2
Champion of the Parish.
You play this down. Tutor. It's a 3-mana 3/3 that tutors for Champion of the Parish, and then like, you could just randomly hose your opponent.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
you can get a champion. You can get a hierarch. So you have a couple 1-drops to hit.
If you feel like they might Supreme Verdict on their turn, you could just sack this on their upkeep.
Yeah,
And they can't do it. It's pretty good.
Some people were talking about just running Coco with this thing and just like end up turn Coco or just upkeep. Just try and Coco, see if you can hit one.
Oh, all right. That's a lot of interesting plays here. And I think it's definitely going to see a lot of playing Commander. There's a lot of things you could do with that, but I don't think it's going to warp any formats. It's not going to bust anything. It's just sort of like a good value creature. The next card we have, Archmage's Charm. Very interesting. It's like a toned down Cryptic command for 1 less mana. It's got blue for an instant. Choose one, counter target spell, or target player draws 2 cards, or gain control of target non-land permanent, CMC 1 or less. I would actually like to get Friendly's opinion on this one.
I don't think he cares.
Wow, he doesn't
Not
care.
green.
Not green.
Not green.
Not green. Not slivers. Not dragons. Not hydras. Not eggs. Die.
Irrelevant.
Okay, Angel. How about you take a stab at it?
I know.
It's cool. I like it. I don't.
High quality.
Very cool, Kanye.
It's cool.
I don't know how often you're gonna be trying to gain control of something of CMC 1 or less.
Commander, you can grab Soul Ring, right?
Yeah, Commander for sure, but in Modern,
Grab Death Shadow and let it die. Ideally, just let it die.
see the ironic thing is you're at a lower life total than them.
Well, you might actually be able to use it then. So it's either you could just 3 mana kill Death Shadow or 3 mana grab Death Shadow. That could be good.
Sure, yeah, it
And
might.
it counters the spell, and you draw 2 cards. I think it's actually really powerful. It reminds me of Abzan Charm.
I'm just trying to think of like what's the things you can just take instant speed. Because you can take
any
the
of
Death
the Soul,
Shadow.
any of the Soul Sisters, right?
Any of the Soul Sisters. You can take what is this?
Relic of Progenitus. If they tap it.
Non-land.
I feel like 3 blue is hard.
There are a lot of decks that run Cryptic Command. It's like strictly harder, right?
In Modern?
Yeah.
Cryptic Command is
You
strictly
like a
harder.
blue-white control deck runs Cryptic Command, so you would run this too if it's what you wanted to do.
How do you
Modern
do
just
that?
has really good mana bases. Yeah,
Yeah,
fetch
must
lands,
be
shop
nice.
lands,
Must be
tap
nice.
lands. I don't know. I think this will see play. It won't take over any slots from Cryptic Command, but it'll probably go into sideboards. I said it reminds me a whole lot of Abzan Charm, and that card was innocuous but very powerful. You can
Yeah.
kill a creature, you could draw cards, or I think you put counters, and even having a third mode, even if you're not going to do it that much, such as this gain control permanent 1 or less, it's not nothing. It'll come up every once in a while, and you'll be glad that it did. Like, it interacts with that new Mox, right? Or any of the other Moxes, because it's 1 or less. So if they have, like, a Chrome Mox or something, you could just, take it. Probably not bad. If you're playing against humans, you can take their Champion of the Parish after they made it really big. You've got a big blocker. I don't know. I think it's actually going to be super impactful. One of the more impactful cards of the set. But, I could be wrong. So, the next card is one of the other forces. When you guys want to take a stab at this one?
No.
Okay. Very cooperative.
I'll do it.
You can sit in your own despair.
Ooh.
So that is what it is. Force of Despair. It is 1 colorless, 2 black, 3 CMC, instant, and it has the same text. As long as it's not your turn, you can exile a black card from your hand rather than paying its mana cost. And it destroys all creatures that entered the battlefield this turn.
I feel like that's really good.
It's pretty
Oh,
good.
definitely.
Yeah.
So it's like a kill spell for any creature as long as you do it the turn, or kills lots of creatures if they try to go off in the turn. Or even if it's just a 2-for-1, you've gotten your card equity back, and if it's any more from that, then this card's just insane.
How much is this one? It's like 3 mana, right?
Yep.
0 if you're bold.
Yeah, if you're bold,
Hey,
it's like
if
3
they- if
mana
they ever-
for like a kill spell even.
If they ever
It's
decide
alright.
to unban Splinter Twin, this is the answer.
Ooh, you just wait till they choose an arbitrary number, and then you just go no.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a good one.
The only problem is they'll probably also have like
Well,
a bunch
like,
of counters.
Well, I mean,
So-
like the other one, the force of negation is another way to answer it, right?
Force of negation can't stop that combo because it's like they're gonna have counter spell backup no matter what.
Okay.
So it's like
No, it will stop it. Dovin's veto.
no, because their combo's all creature
No, we'll
spells.
stop it? Emergency
Not
power.
Splinter Twin.
Because they also have Kiki Jiki as a backup.
I mean,
Sounds
that's I feel like it's a different thing.
What's up
Because
with all
Kiki
this
Jiki combo's
work?
still in there. Huh?
Kiki Jiki,
What work?
Twin.
Too much work.
What's
Too
happening?
many things are.
The thing
Something's
that's
like off the wall today. What's going on?
so that
It's
combo's
too much
disgusting.
work.
Well,
You're accounting for too many things. It's too much work.
true. That's a good point. With any card in the evaluation, it's really hard to get like a super good grasp because it feels like anytime you talk about it, you hit the obvious topics, and it always ends up being something you didn't even think about.
It's like,
that
well,
breaks
there's
it.
this too. Well, there's
Yeah.
this too. It's like
Force of Despair. I think
I think it's gonna be good. I mean,
It's
you're
gonna be good.
You're definitely gonna see it in Commander.
against Coco, it's
Yeah.
pretty funny. They
Oh,
Coco
it's
it.
good versus Coco.
Yeah.
Hopefully, as long as they hit, you just go nope. Aria of Flame is the next card. It's an enchantment. It's really weird. 2 and a red. This is when it enters the battlefield. Each opponent gains 10 life. So so far,
this is a red card.
yeah, so far it's pretty bad. The next card, the next ability. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a verse counter on it. Then it deals damage equal to the number of verse counters the target player or planeswalker. So it has a handicap where it gives them 10 life, but then it just immediately goes off. Where it's like every spell you cast after 1, and then 3, and then 6, and then so after the 4th spell, every spell after the 4th spell you'll start doing a lot of damage to
Isn't
them.
there some sort of enchantment that makes it life gain do damage and stuff?
That would be
Tainted Remedy?
Tainted
I
Remedy.
thought that was only whenever you gain life.
No, it's
No,
whenever
it's opponents.
whenever
Oh,
the
right.
Why would you play an enchantment that does it to yourself?
I forget, man.
What? So it's you could play Tainted Remedy and totally own your opponent there. It's like Tainted Remedy, Aria of Flame, and then they lose 10, and then every spell you cast after that, ding them.
Ouch.
That would be pretty good. I don't think this is actually like a card. It's just
That
kind of
you wanna
funny.
play? No.
You could probably play it in Commander because like
Yeah,
the-
Commander definitely.
I like-
but
I don't think in Modern you'd really use
I think
this.
Storm can do it.
Does Storm need this? Why don't you just play a Storm card?
Because Storm sometimes sucks, and you have Flusterstorm.
I guess this does help against Flusterstorm.
I don't know. The thing that we have too right now to help with this is we do have Finalia Promise, which does count as 3 spells. All on its own. For like 3 mana, you can get away with dealing 6 damage, putting 3 verse counters right away.
Plus whatever damage is on there. Maybe, but
But you're healing them for 10.
that's a big number.
That
You
is
got to
a big
cast 4
number.
spells after that before it even starts doing anything. But granted, afterwards, it's doing a lot.
Does that
It's
sound
like 5,
including
10, 11.
like
You
Manamorphosis?
need to do a lot.
Stuff like that, where you can just keep going.
If
through
you
the
don't
deck.
go off, this.
I feel
was
like a deck like
always-
Storm wouldn't want this because you already have like Power Master's Ascension, which is also a red enchantment that you play on turn 2, which is earlier, and also a combo with piece.
Yeah.
What was that?
I know.
Yeah, weird noises.
Because
all in this
Pyromancer
one, so-
Ascensions does rely on the graveyard a bit. So
True.
Graveyard Hate does fizzle
Okay,
a
I
little
can see
bit.
that.
Aria of the Flame kind of doesn't care about that, so you might be able to get away.
I'm sure that like some of the Storm decks will
Try it.
they'll try it, put in the sideboard as an alternate. That
Yeah.
probably sounds like something I would do. It's like you play a game 1 and 2 with the normal win condition, and game 3 you just change it to that so that you
Yeah.
mess with them.
Hey, against Death Shadow though, all day.
Ooh, give them 10 life, and then don't cast any spells. Wait till you win in 1 turn. That sounds terrible. Anyway.
Sounds terrible, but all their work is just gone.
Anyway, the next card I'm pretty sure is like a Commander All-Star, but we will see. 1 and a white for Winds of Abandon. It's a sorcery. Exile target creature you don't control. For each creature exiled this way, its controller searches their library for a basic land card. Those players put those cards on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle their libraries. And it's got Overload for 6. So the Overload's back, and it's on a path to exile.
So it's almost like a cyclonic rift for creatures in Commander.
It's not a cyclonic rift. You just feel worse after this.
It's almost, but they get lands, which is
They get-
still not
This
that great.
feels way better than Cyclonic Rift.
Does it?
Yeah.
You
I mean, you
see-
get all the lands and all your planeswalkers are still
Yeah,
there.
then you lose all your.
You don't. It doesn't hurt as bad as Cyclonic Rift, but you
in
see,
a way, I guess.
I need the way you run it. I think is you just run Aven Mind Sensor, for example, stuff like that, so they can't search for the
What if you
lands.
play a tokens deck and
Well,
just
they just-
exile all your tokens?
Let me ask you. So, for the Winds of Abandon, they overload and they search for, say, 10, right?
Yep.
Is it 10 separate triggers or one trigger for 10? Because that would matter for the Aven Mind Sensor. Because it's like, do they search the top 4 for 10 cards, or they search the top 4 cards 10 times?
It says for each. Well, the text says for each creature exiled this way, its controller searches the library for a basic land card. So it happens all at once.
So they
have-
would search the top 4 for 10 cards.
Yes, they would search their
Okay.
So
deck,
mean.
their top
That's
4
pretty-
cards
that's
for
pretty
10
killer.
land cards.
Hey, maybe, let me look. Let me see if let me see if Aven Mind Sensor.
This is like when I settle the wreckage myself when I have like 6 tokens that I don't want. It's like, I don't need these 1/1s, I'd rather have lands.
But they don't hit your stuff.
That's next level play right there.
Nobody expects it. That's how you win an
So Mind
FNM, my
Sensor?
dude.
I don't think Mind Sensor went up at all. It's at like 53
You just,
cents.
all of a
Why
sudden,
would it?
you
It was
ramp
printed in
6.
Amakit.
Why would that? Well, I know. That's the thing. Like when Amonkhet was leaving and it was at its lowest price, for like a quarter, I bought like 20 of them.
Damn.
It's another next level spec. Because like hopefully one day something happens. Where
They're a
people
dollar.
Well, yeah, even if it goes up to $1, then boom, you
It
made
is
it.
like,
That joke really doesn't translate to the sound. That just sounds like you're like rubbing your arm.
Which arm?
I was,
Whoa, whoa, whoa! This
I was
is a...
throwing $1 bills, boys.
Anyway,
All right.
the next card is Bizarre Trade Mage, 2 and a blue for a 3/4 flying human wizard. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 2 and then discard 3.
Feel sad.
What?
It's Aladdin, and he has a
That's
Iago
what I
instead
said
of the
earlier.
monkey. Abu.
Aladdin. Aladdin.
I'll give you guys a little bit of a secret. I've
What?
never actually seen Aladdin.
That's fine.
Watching it tomorrow will be the first time I've actually.
I've only
seen
ever
it.
watched like half of them.
Wow.
I haven't
well,
seen like the most Disney.
Well, this will be
movies.
interesting.
I
Go.
don't like Disney that much. I'm gonna be
You should just
honest.
go watch Aladdin, and then go watch the original one,
The only
and then we'll be able to see it's like which one you prefer still,
I don't think.
and then we can judge you from there.
Anyway, back to Magic the Gathering.
Magic the
This is
Gathering.
like a digging on Bazaar of Baghdad, but that card was a land that had that ability,
Yeah.
and it has to do with a tricky combo deck, and this probably is not. I'm not sure this is going to see any play, because I think there's a lot of really good ways in Modern to discard besides this, and then any deck that doesn't want to discard, this is just bad.
I wish that this was just draw 2, discard 2, because I have a modern wizard deck that is there. So being able to double up these triggers would have been great if for the fact that it would be just equivalent to draw 4, discard 6.
You can just instant speed with, and then using a bond, and you just play this, and then you like just discard your hand and then mill yourself. That'd be
Exactly.
awesome. Who would want to do that?
I wish it
wouldn't?
was just
The next card on our docket, for the interest of time, is Cabal Therapist. We did talk about this on a previous podcast, so we don't want to go into it too much, but I will talk about it for a second. It's a 1 mana, 1/1 for 1 black. So black for a 1/1. It's a horror with menace. It says at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, choose a non-land card name. Then target player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name. It is indeed, as the name suggests, a Cabal therapy on a creature that's repeatable. Very good, probably good in an Aristocrats deck, but like I said, our analysis is in the other podcast. If you want to see that, check it out. The next card on the Mythic Spoiler list is a Leak, and I'm not sure if we want to like be going over those or not, so I think just for the out of respect, we're going to skip over that.
Respect.
Out of respect. Let's throw up gang signs.
Blast.
The next card is Astral Drift. When you guys want to tackle this one?
No.
Astral Drift. 2 of anything, 1 white, 3 CMC. Enchantment. Whenever you cycle Astral Drift or cycle another card while Astral Drift is on the battlefield, You may exile target creature. If you do, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. And then it also has cycling for 2 and a white. Discard this card, draw a card.
Yep, so it's Astral Slide fixed. It's literally the exact same card as Astral Slide, but they changed it so it doesn't have Broken Wording. I don't think this is going to do anything anywhere. I don't think cycling was deck
copies.
at all.
I have a dream. Just have this out. Have Street Wraith in hand. Play Siege Rhino, and then just kill them with drains from Siege Rhino. Don't crush my dreams. It will be real.
Wow, that's a little convoluted, but you know what? I'll let you live your life, man. It'd be kind of cool to have another copy of Astral Slide and Commander if that's what you want to do. But is anyone really doing that? Don't think so. The next card on the docket in order of juiciness, Flusterstorm, buy a box promo. It's what can I say? It's Flusterstorm, and it's probably, how much was it before? Like 40, 60?
No, it was not. It was like hovering around 15 to 10.
No way.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap because it hasn't been seeing a lot of play, honestly, in Legacy. Right now, I'm not sure how much it's going to be, but it is going to be the buy box. It's not. I think I heard that it's not going to be foil. It's just going to be just a normal.
Okay, so it was hovering around 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it probably just spiked because it was leaked. But other than that, new art on the Flusterstorm. Nothing much else to say.
Yeah, you know, Flusterstorm's good. You should buy it. So for juiciness, I think we're going to skip the next card. We're going to go to Goblin Engineer. It's a 1 red for a 1/2 Goblin Artificer. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card and put it into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. It has red, tap, sacrifice an artifact, return target artifact creature card with greater mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's a commander card, and you could go get artifacts from your deck. Friendly, what artifacts are you going to fetch out with Goblin Engineer?
If there was an egg.
Oh
but,
my god. The gem of becoming.
We can get Soul Rings.
Yeah,
Soul Ring.
Are
Soul
you going to
Ring.
use this to get Soul Ring?
Yeah. Flavor.
How does that make sense?
You could get something that was, spoiled with this set, but I'll leave that for later.
Is there anything?
I didn't even notice that. You're smart. You're a smart guy. Underneath the veneer for me is a smart guy. So actually, let's just skip around. Let's go straight to that.
You want to go
this
straight
makes
to that?
A little bit more sense. Fernie, you want to read that one?
The swords.
Oh man,
Swords.
that's not even.
Swords.
I thought you were talking about Mox Tantanite.
Yeah.
Now I don't even feel like we're on the same
Do
page.
you just want to finish the forces then?
Can we just
Okay, well, yeah, we'll just do that. A little bit out of order, but let's go. Force of Virtue, 2 white for an enchantment with flash. Creatures you control get +1/+1, and it has the whole exile force ability. This one seems like the weakest of the bunch. I'm sure there are some interesting plays with it, but I'm not sure why would you play this card? I don't know.
White Weenie's gonna try it maybe. Maybe it just looks
Why
at
you,
it.
what is so special about this that you would want to play it like on your opponent's turn, instant speed?
Every point damage matters. You essentially just play an anthem for free.
But you can't do it on your turn, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. So most of the time your creatures don't have haste anyway. So it's like you pass it a turn to your opponent. You just play it on their turn.
Well, wouldn't you just want Banalish Marshal? Isn't that just one less, same time?
You see, you're missing the point. You just play it on their turn without paying the mana cost.
So you untap with it,
Yes,
and then you also play Banalish Marshal.
sure.
It sounds like a lot of work.
Because you're not paying 4 mana for an anthem. You're just
paying 0. Okay.
Yeah, you're
This is why I
discarding
play
a card.
I still think it's probably the worst of the bunch.
Yeah,
This is why we play green.
but I'm just saying. It's like,
That's why we play green. You force of nature.
sometimes every point matters.
Good point. Anyway, next card. This is the marquee. This was the one that they used to reveal this cycle, the Force of Negation.
Very
It
smart.
is, if you know Force of Will and if you know the card Negate, you probably know what this card does. It's a Force of Will and a Negate. It's a Negate and Force of Will put together. So you could exile a card from your hand and do a Negate. That's pretty much all it does. It does exile the card instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard, so it's a little bit different. But other than that, it does everything that you'd imagine it would do.
Only on their turn.
That is true. That actually is quite notable. You can't use it to protect your own combos.
Which is sad.
But who knows? It probably will see a lot of play. Like a 0 mana counterspell, regardless of the drawback, is probably going to see some play.
Yeah.
I mean, even Commandeer does, right?
Does it? I have never seen it play.
I think Commandeer gets play every once in a while. You see it in some. That's why it spiked like half a year ago for some reason. Somebody was playing it. Some deck like Saffron Olive, Saffron Oliver, some kind of thing like that. This is probably one of the most important cards of the set. But honestly, I don't even know what to say. It's as good as you think it is. It's a powerful card.
All right. Do you just want to jump around?
Yeah, well, the next card that I'm going to jump to, because there are a lot of good and interesting cards, but we're going to talk about the craziest ones, is Giver of Runes. It's 1 white for 1/2. It has tap. Another target creature you control gains protection from colorless or from the color of your choice on the turn. It's a Mother of Runes, but worse. It gets an extra point of toughness, and you can protect stuff from colorless, but it can't target itself. So it's you'll see play.
You
for
see
sure.
the way you avoid this. You just get 2 on board. See, easy.
Yeah,
They just protect each other.
yeah.
They're just hugging each other. Just like it'll all be okay.
It's like, it's okay. Don't let go.
Don't let go. Don't let go.
Okay. Well, yeah. In order to make sure we're only talking about the best cards, because we are running a little bit long, we're gonna skip quite a few cards. Right before that, we're gonna talk about the most crazy reveal, Ponder in Modern.
Oh.
Except that it's not.
Stop.
It's just Pondering
sad
Mage.
Ponder?
It's like a common. They made a 5 mana 3/4 common that when it enters you get a Ponder. They called it Pondering Mage. And it's pretty dumb.
What is he thinking about?
Apparently the moon
apparently
cycle.
yeah, apparently lunar eclipses or something. Next. So you guys want to skip the colorless or skip the multicolored to go straight to the colorless?
I mean, like,
Hey, you know
there's
what?
a sliver.
The world is your oyster, guys.
There's a sliver.
What do you guys want to tackle the first sword here?
Sword. All right, Sword of Truth and Justice, boys. Truth and Justice. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from white and from blue. Whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control, then proliferate.
Wow.
Why can't I talk?
Who knows? But anyway,
Because it's not green.
Equipped 2, by the way. Yeah, that's true. It's not.
so
green.
this is the long anticipated continuation of the sword cycle from the Mirrodin block.
Yeet.
It's what can I say? The swords have always been crazy, and
Swords.
these are going to be really sought after and expensive because
want a
they're
foil one.
swords. The commander
Foil.
loves them.
I'm just sad because they announced they're only doing 2. I wanted all of them,
Boy, I mean,
but you know,
even when they came out in the Mirrodin block, they never released 5 in a set.
Slow
They
down,
broke
all
it
right.
apart.
You gotta
Yeah.
slow down. You're getting too greedy. Too greedy. You
I
want
want
this set
it.
to be more expensive?
yeah.
Well, this one I think is really good. It protects you from relevant removal like in white, and it also proliferate is nothing to scoff at. The next sword I haven't actually gotten to read yet, so let's go through it together. We got Sword of Sinew and Steel, 3 mana, of course. A creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from black and red. So that is also very relevant, protecting you from burn spells and a lot of kill spells. It says, whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target planeswalker and up to 1 target artifact. That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like in Modern, but especially in Commander. That is like your opponent tutors this up, puts this on. Now it's like, okay, who's getting it?
Who plays Super Friends?
Who's getting the crazy?
Yeah.
Think of the politics. It's like, okay, hey, there's a planeswalker bar. You know, I'll let you hit me, and you can kill the planeswalker. We can kill the planeswalker together.
True. Because it doesn't say that player controls. So it's like, hey, let me hit you, and let's solve this. Let's get this done.
Yep.
So obviously, people are gonna want these swords. Obviously, these swords are good. What more can you say?
You can destroy the sword with a sword.
You can destroy itself. Yeah, use the stones to destroy the stones.
Think of all the enemies you can get from destroying their soul rings.
Oh my god.
You can make a whole lot of friends doing that. Anyway, the next card is probably one of the more interesting cards. Angel, do you want to take this one?
It is Mox Tantalite with no mana cost,
Sauce.
but it is an artifact with suspend 3, so you can pay 0 rather than cast this card from your hand. Pay 0 and exile it with 3 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter, and when the last one's removed, cast it without paying its mana cost. And what does this do? Why, it just adds 1 mana of any color.
That's right.
Because green is the most important.
Oh my god. That's right. None of us are new here. We all know what this is. It is a Mox with suspend. Absolutely crazy. The real question is 3 too much, or is it still going to be really playable?
Another reason to play the Goblin.
I don't think
Would you play this in any deck that's trying to like cascade and cheat, or are you just still forgetting about
If
it?
you can't cheat it out, it's not the biggest bang for your buck.
This is what I thought you were talking about with the Goblin.
No, I was talking about the swords, because that's much better.
Well, I was like, I thought maybe if you would run it in a similar deck.
So I only talk about good cards.
God dang.
I would say Commander. Commander, you could run it. For sure.
Commanders, you have
Commander,
access
yeah.
to every cascade card, right?
Commander is like, what can I jam in my deck?
Yeah.
Why is 100 cards my limit?
Well,
Why can't I run 1,000?
truly, to see if this card is really good, we have to just wait, because it's like, it really depends on who breaks it, who figures out
Do
what
I
deck
buy a
this is
box
good in.
now? Do I buy a box
Is
later?
there something that puts an artifact right into play? That's cheap.
Sure.
The Goblin that we
the
just
Goblin we
talked
talked
about.
about.
No, that puts in the graveyard, but you have
puts
to.
in graveyard
From
and
the
then you
graveyard
put it
comes
in.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it takes.
You gotta sacrifice, but whatever.
So you play an ornithopter.
So basically, you can play that in the deck where you're trying to get other artifacts, but if you need to, you can use it to get a
I
land.
can think of a couple of artifacts you'd want to destroy.
Maybe prison will want it. Maybe a prison deck, not prison.
Prison?
Uh,
I don't know. I'm
not
looking
sure.
at this card that was not in English right
Nice.
now. I'm trying to figure out
That's a
what
reprint, buddy.
it is.
Altar of Dementia.
I just
Anyway,
I pressed on it.
Altar of Dementia's back, guys. I don't really think we need to mention that one too much. It's not a new card.
Oh, this is an angel card. I'm gonna move away.
How about we hit up this?
What do you mean?
No, this doesn't exist.
How about we hit up this next card here? Morphon, the Boundless. He is the new. He's the tribal commander for everybody. He's like everyone's commander.
What's tribal?
He's
I
the
am
elephant
the tribe.
commander. He's the elephant.
He's
Is
the
he
elephant
an
commander.
elephant?
He's the dog commander. He's the.
There's no dogs
He's
in
the egg
Magic.
commander. He's the.
Is he also made
He's
of
the
rocks?
changeling commander.
Is he
He
also
is.
made of rocks?
He probably
Just
might
like
be.
Mo.
He's the elemental commander. He is Morphon the Boundless. He is the 7 mana 6/6 changeling. When he enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Spells of the chosen type you cast cost white, blue, black, red, green, less to cast. This effect only reduces the colored mana costs that you pay. So whatever tribe you pick, they now essentially only cost colored mana, or they only cost colorless mana, or potentially 1 or 2 colored mana. And it says other creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. So this guy literally slots into any elemental deck, or any creature type deck. You just play this guy, and he's your guy.
So I will say this: if you just stop for that moment, like, wow, I like this thing. Let me play Arcane Adaptation and Fist of Suns, and to cheat everything into play for free, then you are too late, because Fist of Suns has already jumped to $24. Wow.
I mean, you can go budget with Joda, right?
Yeah, you
Same
can.
thing.
So you can run budget or Joda, and then you can run Arcane Adaptation to change the creature types of all your creatures. I believe there's a black one too. I don't remember its name, but you have those 2 enchantments, so you can just choose any creature type you want, Joda, and then you just cast everything for free.
That's pretty good. I'm sure this guy's probably pre-ordering for a lot.
I checked. I did not see him around the $20 mark. So
Okay, well, the next cards that we're gonna be talking about, or we're gonna scroll up a little bit take a step back, we're going to talk about the multicolored cards because there are a few interesting ones. They've got a new sliver card. I think Fernley likes slivers, so if you want to tackle this one.
All right. The first sliver.
Wow.
That's it. No.
Does nothing.
Obviously, all 5 colors. Come on. It's slivers. Cascade. And sliver spells, you have Cascade. Cascade everything. Why not?
Play sliver, get sliver.
Play sliver, get sliver.
Yeah, that's right. Is this going to be like the commander? I don't know.
I feel like it is because it's just so broken.
Well, the other
You just
Slivers by themselves are broken.
exactly. So just being able to play like a 3-mana sliver just to look for a 2-drop and a 1-drop sliver. I don't think what's the highest CMC sliver right now?
Like 8 probably.
Is there
From
any?
what off my memory, 8.
Well, it's like so if you have the other sliver commanders in here, so like Hive Lord, etc. Even if you cast one, you just get like 4 things off of it for free.
Yeah.
And then I think there is like a combo of some of the slivers, so you could just make infinite slivers and kill everyone.
It is. We've seen it. It's AIDS.
Yeah, so
We don't talk about it.
this thing could essentially randomly you could just so there's a combo with some of the slivers where you could just make an infinite amount of slivers. So you can just if you just have it in the deck just by playing slivers naturally, you can just cascade into the combo and just
You
kill
just
everyone.
win.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you now remember it?
Not quite, but
You make infinite slivers, and you win.
wow, thanks for the recap, buddy. In the interest of time, because we are running a little bit long, I think we
always say
continue. I always say that, but it's always true. We ran in 6.
It's
we have the
been
2-mana
30 minutes.
Planeswalker. Red-green for a 3. Loyalty Planeswalker. Ren. As +1, return up to 1 target land card from your graveyard to your hand. -1. Deals 1 damage to any target. And the -7, you get an emblem that gives all your instant sorcery cards in your graveyard retrace. Is this card good? That's the question.
It has some crazy art. I don't think it's a good card, though.
Some people are going to be trying it in Modern. Commander, like I said,
yeah.
just like the enchantment, I am excited to try this in my Wart, the Raid Mother deck. Mainly because I will be able to retrace all my instants and sorceries, especially like Mana Geyser, Shamanic Revelation, and just have fun going out like that.
And that's the most important thing. We just gotta have fun.
Have fun, it's just simple cards,
I'm not sure if this is actually like a modern card. Like Dredge might.
I feel like
I don't know.
Commander Windgrace is gonna run it.
Sure, yeah. It'll go into decks, but I don't think it's gonna be like crazy. The next card that we will be talking about is do a little bit of scrolling. There are some really cool, powerful, interesting cards that we just don't really have the time. We're gonna probably skip down on lands now.
The biggest thing.
Oh, the nice lands.
Or do you want to save the best ones for last?
I'm not sure what you're actually considering as the best ones, but I guess there's a cycle, and let's just not do the cycle yet. We'll do the 2 one-offs. We have Prismatic Vista.
Ooh,
This is the long-awaited 5-color fetch. Prismatic
I like
Vista.
What only
Tap.
gets basics?
Sure, when it gets any basic. Tap, pay a life, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield, shuffle your library. Boom.
Sauce.
5-color fetch. Now we have it.
Now we have.
Strange.
And
Put
it
in
can-
every deck.
It's great. Can fetch colorless now.
Order 1 billion of them.
Boom, that's right. You can fetch. You can fetch.
You can fetch waste.
Okay. I like it. That's kind of like a flavor fail, though. It's prismatic.
Details.
Anyway.
Nobody cares.
The other one-off card is the Frostwalk Bastion. It's a snow land. It's a snowman land. It's got taps out of colorless.
It's a snowman. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah. Podcast is done. Bye, guys. No. So he has 1 and a snow. Until end of turn, Frostwalk Bastion becomes a 2/3 construct artifact creature. It's still land and says whenever Frostwalk Bastion deals combat damage to a creature, tap that creature and it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. It's a man land. It's a 2/3 for 2, and it does a weird thing for blocking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a snowman.
I'm not actually sure if this is actually gonna see any play.
It's
but
there.
It's interesting
It's
for sure.
As Angel said, it's there.
It's there. That's right.
Why
It's
not?
there.
If you're playing with snow, why not?
Okay, and the next cycle we're gonna talk about long-awaited cycles, such as the swords, are now being worked on and expanded. Here's the expansion of another long-awaited cycle. Horizon Canopy is not in this set, but its brothers and sisters are. We have 5 cards. These are the enemies, right?
Yes,
Enemy-
these are enemy colors.
Enemy-colored. What do we call these? Like sacklands or something?
They call them just Horizon Lands.
Horizon lands. Okay, Modern Horizon. I got anyway. So
Horizon Canopy.
you have a white-black silent clearing. You can tap, pay 1 life, add a white or a black, or you can pay 1 and tap it, sack it, draw a card. You have similar for Waterlogged Grove is the blue-green one. The blue-red one is Fiery Islet. The red-white one is Sunbaked Canyon, and the green-black one is Nurturing Peatland. I don't think all of these are going to go into Modern.
All of
some,
these.
Some of these will. I mean, some. I don't know if any of these actually have a deck that cares about them.
I can name a deck for each one.
Okay, go.
So let's start with Silent Clearing, the black-white one. So obviously, Death and Taxes, Eldrazi and Taxes, so that's where it's going to be seeing play. It might be mono white too, because now they actually have another one, besides Horizon Canopy, just to keep going through the deck.
Okay.
Waterlogged Grove, Infect for sure.
Okay.
Fire Islet, Is It Phoenix?
Okay.
Sunbaked Canyon, Burn. Naya Burn.
Okay.
And Nurturing Peatland, you can run that definitely inside of the Rock.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, The
What's
Rock?
He's cooking?
You shove this up Dwayne Johnson.
No, he just eats it.
Wow.
So just any black green deck.
I mean, yeah. But what I was gonna say is that Commander,
Commander,
For sure.
yeah, for sure.
any
All-
deck that would want
Everything.
to draw cards.
Anything that has more than 1 color, play these.
True. Absolutely insane. I think they're gonna be worth quite a bit. Horizon Canopy was worth a shiz amount of money.
It's
but
like 50 or 60.
But they reprinted it a bunch of times.
It's 3 times, I think.
Reprinted it 3 times.
Even if
That's
they're
a
not in
bunch.
your color, just play them.
The only printings are the original printing from Future Sight. I think they printed it in another master set before that, and then they printed it in just iconic. So
What I'm saying is that they can print it so many times, and the price is still $50. And you imagine these are now getting their only printing. I imagine these are a good investment for the future.
for sure,
$2.
I'm going to assume that the starting price.
$2 final offer.
I think these things are already pre-ordering for like 30. Let me double check.
I mean, honestly, that
Close
sounds
to do that.
30. That sounds like a steal, especially in the next few years. I would catch these early.
I'm gonna say they might bottom at 20 for a hot minute, and then they'll immediately just go back up,
So what you're telling me?
depending
buy
on
box.
them. Like the cheapest one, I'm looking. It looks like it's the black green one. That one's just sitting at 30. That's the cheapest, just for pre-ordering.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, what can I say? These cards are going to be in a lot of decks. You should grab them immediately now because they are not going to go down after this set comes out. These are going to go out on the up and up. They're going to see a lot of play, and they're going to be highly sought after. So we are almost able to close this up. Sorry that we have taken so long, but there's 1 cycle left.
I'll just say the
Let's just
last,
stop.
the last cycle.
Cycle left, nothing.
The last-
silence.
No, the last
I thought Angel
cycle.
was gonna say something.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go for it.
How about
Okay.
we each say one word? Ready? Snow.
Lands.
He stole your word. He stole your word.
Snow.
Snow lands covered.
This goes the other direction. It's snow-covered lands.
I thought I was gonna say full art.
So snow-covered lands. Snow-covered lands are back in the set. They are the only reprints. They did say there were 5 reprints. These are the reprints.
Oh, God.
Just these lands.
They look beautiful.
They look beautiful. They're all full art. So every pack's gonna have them instead of the basic lands. And if you do drafts, you have to draft these
Can
lands.
they be in foil?
Yes. So can imagine how nice looking the foil ones are going to be. I can't wait to get the swamp one in foil. That one will look great.
Oh yeah, so we've got BFZ style full art borders with snow covered. I think they're gonna be worth quite a bit.
Very nice.
Very
very
interesting.
nice.
Pick them up while you can. There is one other thing in the set that is going to be coming out. Is every pack's going to have a full art card, just not like a real card to play with, but it's just like an art like a token, but it's just an art of a card. So
That kind of sounds really cool.
I'll try and throw up some pictures of that if I remember. But we have now run to an hour and 49 minutes. Probably less. Thank you for the tapping noise. Probably less if you skip to the Modern Horizons. But if you stuck around for the whole time, thank you very much. We appreciate you listening. And it sounds like an earthquake.
It is California.
Yeah, it's actually not. It's probably small children again. We apologize for all the weird noise interruptions. With such a long podcast, it's kind of hard to control the environment. Wow, that's a lot of noise. Wow. We had quite a bit of a hiatus in the past 5 weeks ish,
And
4 weeks ish. Now we made one really long podcast, and you can anticipate a lot of stuff coming out. We got at least 6 box openings.
Or we could just open all 6.
Or one video with 6, probably not, but that is an option. We're gonna have some gameplay. I've got a really interesting project coming up soon. It's gonna be really funny. It's testing really well with the people that have seen what I have of it. So look out for that. Anything you guys want to say before we close it up?
Yeah, I don't know. I would get more of the set, but like War of the Spark came out, so it's like money is tight. I think that's how a good amount of people feel, honestly, because there's interest in the set, but I know that people are hesitant to get it, especially right after War.
Yeah, I mean, War of the Spark came out. A lot of people really like this set because it was a good set. Put a lot of money in it, and then now a $200 plus set comes out. It's kind of a little bit tight.
Yay!
So I think in the beginning, especially in the first week, when allocation period's still around, it's like everything's going to be hard to get.
Snag it up.
Everything's going to be hard to get, and then a lot of the singles are going to set are probably going to be really pushed pretty high. A good couple of them. Especially those lands. But that's my that's all else I want to say.
Well, thank you guys for coming for another MMMTG podcast. If you are still listening, please,
listening.
If you came from the Instagram, thank you very much for checking out our stuff. If you haven't seen our Instagram, we are at MMMTG278. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, we are at MMMTG7. This is Miles and my associates.
Hello.
Friendly.
And Fernley. And thank you for watching.
Hey,
Bye.